All right, I'm going to try to show you that what I've got going on here with John. Well, I've got him targeted touch, so I'm going to hold out the back of my hand. And he's moved away a little bit when I shifted the bucket. I've got it in my belt buckle. Touch, so he has a target now. Touch, he needs to come up and touch my hand. Touch, yes, I say yes, and then he receives the reward. Good boy. So that's the total transformation from bribery to target. So I hold out my hand, say touch. He touches, and then yes. A little late with the yes, but then here comes the reward. So that's positive reinforcement. There's a behavior and a word. Touch. Yes. And then that word becomes the positive reward eventually. But do you see how we had to go through the steps we did? Touch. Because he wouldn't even eat out of my hand to begin with, so there was no way I could do this. Touch. Yes. All these steps were essential. So now when I hand him the food, it's simply a reward. I'll let him chew for a second. Sometimes I kind of wait till he looks at me like he's ready for another bite. And I say, touch. Target. Yes. And then here's the reward. So you see he's figured it out. Very, very intelligent young man here. Touch. Yes. Yes. Good boy. And I put it back. Wait for him to be ready. And you can see I have the bucket just hanging off my belt buckle. I was trying to figure out how I could do this. Touch. And I'll just hold out my hand. He needs to touch me first. Touch. Yes. I just really want to emphasize the process that was essential here. It's not just doing a thing. It's not a method, right? It's a mind frame, and we had to we used a method, but it was all about the mind frame of trust and bringing him to a place where he could connect these things. That first of all, I'm good. Touch. Yes. And if you remember, this is the guy, if you watch day one, he actually took something out of my hand day one, and he accidentally touched my finger. He was going to see if he could get another one. Touch. And he just got so upset about the fact that he had touched me. Yes. So we really had to, we're the beginning of week 3. Today is day 9. Touch. And I didn't start the video that way. Touch. Yes. And then I can up the ante by leaving my hand there a little bit longer and kind of requiring him to explore just a little bit. So we've got to continue to up that ante, otherwise they demand, and it doesn't seem fair to them. But we do it very incrementally. Touch. Touch. Yes. That was a pretty little touch, so I'm going to ask for another one. Touch. Yes, that was much better. Touch. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Isn't that great? His eye looks so much softer. Would you like to do a touch? Touch. Yes. And he's so totally, hopefully you can see this, how much he has associated this pattern. Touch, and there's a lot of peace in the pattern. Yes. Because it's a repetition. They learn so much by repeating. And he's confirming every time. And there's been a lot of walkaways in between this. And I just say patient. Now we've had a bunch of feedings right in a row with the touch target. He's got a mouthful. Touch. Yes. And I really want to use that word because I'm going to use my hand as a target moving forward in a lot of things to get him to follow me eventually and lead. My hand is a target out in front that he's going to want to go toward. Touch. Touch. Yes. Oh, he explored a little bit and kind of pushed on my hand, and my finger went a little in his nostril. It startled him a little, but because I just stood there and he realized wasn't the end of the world. Touch. And if it was, like the first time he touched me, if he went away, no problem. He'd go think about it. Touch. Yeah, he's a little bit less touch that time because he didn't really love it the time before how it felt. So I'll just wait. Touch. Touch. And regressions, what we think are regressions, touch. Yes, yes, are not regressions because they're testing So you see, he kind of went, what if I don't touch as much? Can I still get it? And it didn't work, and he did it like 3 times. And then he went, all right, I better touch better. Touch. Yes. So he's understanding now that the more touch, the sooner he'll get the reward. And look who has arrived now. Hi, Mr. John. Can you do a touch? He's been a little bit, we've done this with him before. He has these moments where he'll come in and do it and do it and do it, and then he's gone for a while. So he hasn't been here, so I'm going to go ahead and offer him a little something just to come in. And I do the touch with the food in my hand with him. He's actually not as far along as Ray is. Hi, Ray. Come. Touch. He was going for the bucket hang. He's like, well, couldn't I? Yes. Couldn't I just get it myself out of the bucket? Yeah, that might defeat the purpose, buddy boy. So let's see. We'll give John a little bit more here. Touch. Touch. So I still require him to touch, but I've got it in my hand so I can give a faster reward. Touch. Whereas Ray understands a little more, but he can touch without the food. And who would have thunk it that Ray would be the one to get that soon? Let me see. Give him an opportunity to touch without the food. He actually hasn't touched. It's hard to tell in the video. Touch. I can reach up. No. And I really want him to do the touching. It's not about me. Touch. Touch. He knows touch. He just stays right at that fingertip distance. So I'll just move away. Touch. Yes. Oh, nice exploring of my hand. Come, Ray. Oh, he's so excited. I'll try again with John. Touch. Yes, he did it. So he gets a little bite. Good boy. Touch. And meanwhile, Ray crept a little closer, but then when I touch, yes. He really would like to just head over to the bucket that's attached to me, which I thought about actually. Touch. Yes. Doing that soon is holding the bucket and letting him eat out of it, so I could try to touch his face. And we might do that, be a different thing. I might do that with his grain. Touch. Good. Again, now he hasn't touched. He's come in. Touch. So I'm just going to wait. Keep saying touch so he knows what it means. Yes. And then as soon as he does it, I say yes. Target that behavior. Reward it. And he knows. So isn't that wonderful? I'm so glad I got a little video of that for you guys, especially with Mr. Ray here. Touch. 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 Nope, you didn't touch me. Touch. Yes, yes. And other thing I want you to notice is I never surprise him. This is never about, hi, John, you coming in for a touch? Once he touches me, like grabbing him, throwing my hands up on him. That would be just such an undoing of everything we've done. There's just a patience and stillness. Touch. Yes. So does this take longer? Yeah, but guess what? Any good foundation takes the longest to build, and if you have an amazing foundation, touch, John, you can build quite a building on top of it. But if you don't, yes, that was a light touch by John, so we'll give him. If you don't have a good foundation, don't even waste your time building. Touch. Yes, what a good boy. So that'll be the scripture today. I'll just have this one video, and he who builds, yes, look at John, good boy, he touched me. Foolish man builds his house on the sand, but the wise man builds his house on the rock, and it's a firm touch. Good boy, a firm foundation. So I'll post a scripture there. It's actually a few scriptures, good boy, in a row. So say goodbye, Ray. Say goodbye, John boy. All right, till tomorrow.